The most scariest moments on Survivor. Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Film Flood. The long-running Survivor is a unique kind of reality program. A survival aspect is one of the key ingredients of its success, and it helped make the show such a cultural phenomenon in the early 2000s. There's just something about watching people survive on a remote island that makes for fantastic TV. Unfortunately, the survival aspect has resulted in a lot of scary moments. In this video, we shall be taking a look at the most scariest moments on the show. Caleb nearly dies of heart stroke. Perhaps the scariest moment in Survivor history, viewers were forced to watch Caleb Reynolds nearly die of a heat stroke. One of the wildest medical evacuations in the history of the show, Caleb was competing in a reward challenge when he collapsed from heat and exhaustion. What followed was a slew of disturbing sights and sounds. Concerned medics rushed over to help. Caleb was making audible groans and gasps of desperation, and the typical result of Jeff Probst looking genuinely scared and panicked. It was obvious that Caleb was in need of serious help, and watching someone in such an obvious danger never makes for entertaining viewing. Russell passes out in Samoa. Samoa is famous for the two Russells, Russell Hantz, who wrecked his own game with horrible social gameplay, and Russell Swan. The latter is well known for his horrifying medical evacuation, which saw him collapsing during a challenge. The initial collapse is one of the most disturbing sights from the show, as he passes out on the board itself, his unconscious body left dangling on the corner while his teammates look in bewilderment and concern. It's a disturbing image that may forever remain burned in the memories of Survivor viewers, a perfect visual representation of the show's dangers. Brandon Hantz throws his own game. Following the success of Russell Hantz, yes, the guy we just spoke about previously, Survivor brought in his nephew Brandon to capitalize on the fame. Despite a strong game in South Pacific, Hantz's reputation was permanently tarnished with a scary departure from Caramone. Hantz began acting incredibly unstable throughout the season, which culminated in him dumping the camp's rice and beans all over the sand and threatening to fight Philip Shepard. Viewers and players were freaked out by the incident and genuinely worried for Hantz's mental well-being. Watching someone's emotional breakdown is never fun, and this incident horrifically proved that mental tolls that Survivor takes on its contestants. Michael burns his hands in the fire. Next we have Michael Scuppin, the first player to be medically evaluated after falling into the campfire during the Australian outback. Scuppin was reportedly tending to the fire when he accidentally inhaled the smoke and passed out in the flames and embers. The filming of the sequence is horribly ambiguous, as viewers hear a blood-curdling scream before footage cuts to Scuppin racing towards the water. It's unclear exactly what happened, which only adds to the disturbing unease. It's only later that viewers learn the unsettling truth, as the camera focuses on one of the show's most grotesque images, loose and burnt skin dangling off of Michael's raw hands. Jenny's earbug. The threat of living in the wilderness is very real. Just ask Jennifer Lizenzi, who suffered a bug crawling into her ears. In some ways, this is Survivor's most disturbing moment, as it rooted in a very grounded fear. Many people hate bugs, and many have a fear of bugs crawling on their bodies, let alone entering an orifice. Unfortunately, viewers were forced to watch a crying Lindsay squirm around in pain while describing the sensation of the bug scuttling legs inside of her head. It was both visually and audibly petrifying. Luckily, the tiny bug eventually crawled itself out and left Lancey physically unharmed. Shane's erratic behavior. While many Survivor fans think Shane Powers should get a second chance at the game, others were left too unnerved by the bizarre behavior to even consider it. Shane is one of the show's most divisive characters, as his actions were both problematic and concerning. He exploded in several scary outbursts owing to nicotine withdrawal. He walked around the camp completely naked. He began using a piece of wood as a blackberry, and he even threatened to stalk and kill another contestant jokingly, but it still proves disturbing. Some of it can be chalked up to the eccentric peculiarities, but some think that they were watching a man teetering on the brink of mental instability. Finding human remains. Aside from the introduction of fan favorite Boston Rob, Survivor Marquez is famous for the human remains sequence. On day 19, a group of contestants found a small pile of human bones, including small bits of ribcage and a fractured skull. As one of the contestants notes, the fracture proves indicative of blunt force trauma, meaning the unknown person could have been a victim of murder. The eerie music, visuals of human bones, and the implication of violence all combined make one for the most troubling sequences in the series' history. This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you enjoyed it. Survivor audiences, did we miss any horrid moment that you'd like to share? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.